Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, guys. Once again, I'm your host, Modiba Amin, your number one plug when it comes to finance and stuff. And yeah, I would like to welcome you guys back to my channel, Modiba Talks, where we are having discussions about matters that are not being taught at schools or anywhere else. And yeah, I promised you guys consistency. So we are back with another video today. But before you get into things, for those of you who are new, please do subscribe, like, share, and also don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded interesting and informative videos like these. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. Now, as Nigerians, I'm sure most of us have come across this story of some individuals that sold a fake airport to a bank for a total sum of $243 million, which left most of us wondering whether it was actually true or not. Well, newsflash guys, this story is actually true, so stick with me as we discover how it all went down. So one of the most fascinating scams that occurred between 1995 and 1998 involved Emmanuel Nwude, a Nigerian scammer who managed to sell a fake airport to a Brazilian bank. Such a scam is unlikely to be successful in today's world as people are more aware of scams as a result of the surge in internet scams worldwide. Nowadays, hardly anyone falls for these scams, promising us fortunes that seemingly fall from the sky. Emmanuel Nwude, the mastermind behind the scam, had previously worked as a director of the Union Bank of Nigeria. His banking background gave him access to the knowledge, documentation, and links that made him more believable when it came to executing his scam. Emmanuel's experience as a bank director meant that he had ample knowledge of how to conduct himself in a business setting and probably had a certain confidence about him that put his victims at ease. And to execute his scam, Emmanuel impersonated Paul Oguma, who at the time was the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. His accomplices were Emmanuel Ofulwe, Obum Osakwe, Izeribe Okoli, and the Ikwechikus, a husband and wife duo. With the help of his accomplices and his new identity, Emmanuel was able to connect with Nelson Sakaguchi, the then director of the Brazilian bank Banco Noretse. Emmanuel pitched the idea of getting the Brazilian bank involved in developing the Nigerian economy by investing in building of a new airport in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Emmanuel sweetened the deal for Nelson by informing him that should the deal be successful, he would be in line to pocket $10 million as commission. The promise of a hefty payout was enough to intrigue Nelson, and he fell for the scam. Between 1995 and 1998, he paid the fraudsters a total of $191 million in cash, and the remaining $51 million in the form of outstanding interest from Banco Noretse. Emmanuel and his crew almost got away with the scam, but things began to unravel when Banco Santander, a Spanish bank, wanted to take over the Brazilian bank in August of 1997. The takeover meant that thorough investigations of the Brazilian bank's financial statements was conducted. During this period, many board meetings between the two banks took place, and in December of 1997, top officials from the Spanish bank questioned why almost half of the Brazilian bank's capital was sitting in an unprotected account in the Cayman Islands. And as this discrepancy could not be sufficiently explained as there was no new airport in Abuja, formal investigations were initiated. Criminal investigations also had to be carried out in multiple jurisdictions, which included Brazil, Nigeria, Switzerland, and England, in an effort to ensure that the sale of the Brazilian bank still went through. The owners of the bank had to pay the missing $242 million from their own pockets. Despite this, the Brazilian bank eventually collapsed. Although the scam took place between 1995 and 1998, Emmanuel and his accomplices were only brought to court in 2004. The complexity of this case meant that specialist investigations had to be carried out. As a result of this, the criminal investigations only began to take shape in 2002. This is when the Nigerian president at the time, Olusegun Obasanjo, established an anti-graft agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. And when the scammers were brought before the Abuja High Court, they faced over 100 counts of fraud and bribery-related charges. They originally pleaded not guilty, however, their defense began to crumble when one of the fraudsters confessed. Despite a confession from one of his accomplices, Emmanuel still tried to evade justice by attempting to bribe the chairman of the EFCC with $75,000. This did not end well for him as the chairman refused the bribe, resulting in additional bribery charges being added to Emmanuel's docket. The prosecutors in the matter managed to secure as a witness Nelson Sakaguchi, the man who had been conned into making payments for the non-existent airport. Following his testimony, Emmanuel and the rest of his remaining crew pleaded guilty. Emmanuel was sentenced to 5 years in prison and ordered to pay $10 million as a fine to the federal government. This seems like a very small amount for someone who had defrauded a bank of over $200 million. The fine was probably a mere drop in the ocean for him. This scam is one of the biggest banking scams of the century. It is quite difficult to understand how such a scam was even allowed to happen. A deal involving millions of dollars usually involves hours of due diligence exercise by lawyers and various professionals involved. It is mind-boggling how a established bank like Banco Noretse, was able to fall victim to such a scam. Why did the bank not send a crew to Abuja to observe the construction of the airport? Why did Nelson not ask more questions? There are so many more questions than answers to this story. But one thing is for sure, this scam forms an integral part of banking history that will be studied by bankers for years to come. And yeah guys, this brings me to the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. And for those that are new, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded interesting and informative videos like these. And yeah guys, once again, thank you for watching.